Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Captain Andrew Nyman, N-E-I-M-A-N, LAPD Media Relations. So I'm here this morning to give you a little more information about stories that have been going around regarding a alleged knife that may have been recovered, possibly in connection to OJ SImpson case. So this is what we know. Within the last month, LAPD became aware of an item that was allegedly recovered by a citizen at the Rockingham property, possibly during the demolition of the site. We need to vet that. We still don't know if that's an accurate account of how this item came into our possession. The actual item is described as a knife. I'm not going to go into the description of the knife because that could be germane to determining whether or not this actual piece of evidence is in fact evidence, or it's just a facsimile or made up story. So we need to look into that, and our robbery homicide is going to look into that. So what I can tell you is that the story as it's told to us by the person we received it from, and the person that we received this knife from is a retired LAPD officer who retired back in the late 90s. He was a motor officer, and at the time, according to him, he was working an off-duty, he was working a moving job, which a lot of our officers do on an off-duty basis, as well as our retired officers. So I do not know whether he was retired at the time that he allegedly received this item from the person who claimed they found it on the property, or whether he was still in fact an LAPD officer and then retired sometime after that. So we are looking into that. The bottom line is that with all cases that remain open, such as the OJ SImpson and other murder cases and robbery cases, unless there's an actual arrest or conviction to prove that we have actually closed the cases remain open. That is where we are with the OJ SImpson case. And I shouldn't say the OJ SImpson case. This is the Nicole Brown case. This is a double homicide that is still open and ongoing. So the investigators will continue to look at this. That item has been recovered by robbery homicide investigators. It is being treated as we would all evidence. So it has been submitted to our lab. They are going to study it and examine it for all forensics, including serology and DNA and hair samples, and that is ongoing as we speak. So with that, I can take a couple of questions, and I may not be able to answer all your questions. So let me start right here first. Yes.
Can you just give us your reaction? And we know there are allegations at this point, but your reaction to an officer with LAPD besides the evidence and what many would describe as the biggest murder trial in all of LA's history. What's your reaction when you first heard about it?
Well, I was really surprised. I would think that an LAPD officer, if this story is accurate as we're being told, would know that anytime you come into contact with evidence, that you should and shall submit that to investigators. So I don't know what the circumstances are why that didn't happen, or if that's entirely accurate, or if this whole story is possibly bogus from the get-go, involving a variety of people. So we're looking into that, but I was quite shocked. So in terms of charges, the officer is retired. So in terms of administrative charges with the department, we'll look into that, but at this point, I don't believe there are any administrative charges that could be filed because he's no longer an employee of the department. In terms of criminal allegations, robbery, homicide, and our investigators will look into if there are any potentiality of criminal charges related to this. So,
Can you describe the knife, the condition it was in, how long the knife is, if you found anything on it, possibly dried blood?
Yeah, I don't have that information, and the investigators have asked that we not be very descriptive about the knife. So they haven't actually told me, so I don't accidentally tell you. And for obvious reasons. We need to, first of all, determine, is this evidence? And if it's not evidence, how do we prove one way or another that it's not? And the only way we could do that is by being able to challenge the people involved as to where it was recovered, how long it was, where it was alleged to have been, etc.